It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It's no time to sit down, relax, be lazy. Well, you can do that. You can do that, especially if you got TuneHub on, because it's time for the Acoustic Sessions brought to you by the Schumacher Arts, Culture, and Heritage Association, an amazing place that supports the arts in the Schumacher and Timmins area, something that we desperately need. We love the arts here. I know that they're going to make a comeback, so thank you very much. Without your support, the acoustic show couldn't happen. And without my friend here, someone actually who I just met, but we're going to be best friends again. Now, listen, I tell that to all the guests here, right? And neither of them, the other two, Eric, I have to tell you, have called me. So I'm over two, but I feel this is the one, right? It's not going to be strike three.
Probably not.
Probably not. No, I don't think he's being truthful. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Eric Starling. I have the privilege of coming in tonight and listen to this original music he's going to be playing. And oh my God, once again, I'm jealous. I'm envious. This guy's got a ton of talent. I can't wait to see what you're going to be playing for us. But I have to tell you something quickly. We talked a little bit before briefly. I mentioned I have kids, right? And I said that with a shed of positivity. But I got to tell you what happened this week, okay? Because, they got underneath my nerves a little bit. You see, we spent the whole summer trying to entertain the kids because of what's going on, because of the isolation. So we thought of all great activities, took them places A, places B, camping with all their friends, spent all types of money, going back to school, paid college tuition, new books, and everything, right? So a boatload of money gone. So I decided to do something for myself this week, Eric. I decided to pre-order myself a PlayStation 5. And I know nothing more attractive than a 45-year-old that likes to play games. But who cares? I wanted to do something for myself. Order a PlayStation 5. Well, the kids found out about this. They're so upset with me. Dad, if you get a PlayStation 5, then you have to buy me an Xbox Series X, which is the new Xbox. And I'm like, well, maybe you'll get that for Christmas. And they're like, well, if we can't or open ours till Christmas, you can't have yours to Christmas. So just because I did one thing for myself, now they're trying to banish me. So I don't know. I know you mentioned you don't have kids. This is probably one of these times where you're feeling lucky that you don't, because they're. So I'm happy to be here tonight with my new best friend Eric. Now that's enough about me. How about we get? How about we slide into that song? And I'm thinking here, Eric. I don't want to run the set list here, but I often do. But when I first walked through the doors here just a while ago, you were playing that tune. And I think I want to hear it again. You think you could jam it, and then we'll get into a conversation in a bit?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
All right. I guess we're going to play Reminiscing. This is actually a song about when I was a kid. And, I mean, I never got mad at my dad for buying a PlayStation, though. But, hey, I mean, I guess I can't really relate to that part. But my dad still plays PlayStation. And he's older than 45. This one goes out to my buddies Justin, Seb, and Dave. There's a lot of parts of this song that are about you guys, and yeah. So this is it's called Reminiscing. When we were young, we used to go out and play, and we made our own fun and learn from our mistakes. And we'd wrestle in the snow and skateboard in the sun, and we'd dream of growing old, 'cause drinking and swearing looked like fun. We drank pop from coffee cups, endless movies on the screen. We played sports, so we made up and laughed at nudie magazines. Winter hockey in the cold, you took a ball right to the face. I said it's fine, you held your nose, and then bled all over the place. If only there was a way to go back to those days. If only there was a way to go back to those days. And when we were young, with not a care in the world, we'd pick flowers and run and give 'em to girls. We'd go biking in the streets until the early morning, drives past the miller's pit, refuse to heed our parents' warnings. Remember the time that we got smashed in the summer of grade 10? My first kiss, but it got crashed 'cause the girl had a boyfriend. In that dingy old garage, and our first band that really sucked. Tom's mom came in with guacamole just to tell us, hey, sacroche. If only there was a way to go back to those days. If only there was a way. If only there was a way. And I know that this sounds cliche. We grew up faster than we could say. We miss those days. And I know that this sounds cliche. We grew up faster than we could say. We miss those days of ignorance and bliss. But we can't go back, so for now I'll reminisce.
That was something else. Something else, Eric. I really appreciate that. And it drew me back. There's I don't know if you watched the television show The Office.
Love The Office.
Yeah, okay. So there's a line, I think it's season 8 or 9, probably 9, where Andy says, "I wish there was a way you could know you're in the good old days when it's actually happening." And that song reminded me about that. A very personal touch.
What a great reference.
Yeah,
What a great reference
Yeah,
that
and
is.
one of the greatest shows, right? The Office.
Greatest show of all time.
Well, see, we are. But I knew. Forget about the two other guys. It's me and you moving forward. But so I can feel your music when you're singing. It's obviously very personal to you. Where do you get your inspirations from?
That song, I was just kind of sitting around one day, and I realized I never wrote a song about my past, and I was just thinking about my friends and how much they mean to me, and I'm an emotional person, and I just kind of got to thinking about those little times, those small times, because like the line that I put in there about the hockey ball in the face, like that was. You can ask my buddy Dave about that. He'll tell you the whole story 100 times out of 100. He was pissed off. He was really pissed off. He says, "I never played goalie. Why do you get me to play goalie? And you knew that you were going to wrist shot me in the face." And I said, "No, I was trying to pick top corner. I don't know what you're talking about." But yeah, he was a short guy, and it just happened that his face was in top corner. I'm just kidding. I wasn't that accurate. It was a terrible shot.
I think a frozen ball or a puck to the face is a rite of passage as a kid in Northern Ontario. So that's awesome. It has to happen, right? Or else your youth was wasted, I think.
Yeah. So that was just that song, but mostly I get my inspiration from other people, and a lot of the times other people's situations that I kind of feel empathetic about, and I tend to take on some people's emotions sometimes, and I just gotta shed it in song, and it's a very cathartic experience for me most of the time. So
Yeah, that's very good. We were talking briefly before the show about one that you wrote when you're at Christopher's Coffee House. I know you have that somewhere in the set list tonight. Is that something you can play for us now, or are we going to wait for that one?
Let's do it. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So I was sitting at Christopher's Coffee House one day, and I was feeling lonely, but I was kind of just drinking it all in, and that's actually one of my favorite places to go to write, because I would write poetry or stuff like that in a coffee shop. It's the hustle and bustle, just kind of draws you in a weird kind of way, and I feel like it's a good environment for that. So I just started writing a song, and it was one of the first times I wrote the lyrics before writing the music. So, and I just kind of wrote about what I saw and what I heard and what I smelt, and all my senses were engaged. And and Coffee House Blues was born. So this is that. And this one here, I'll dedicate it to my 12th grade students that I taught last year at Terrio. They really liked this song, and they asked me to play it a whole bunch. And so this one goes out to them. Coffee cakes and steaming mugs of fresh gum beans fill my cup with whispers and giggles all around. And people come and people go, others stare out through hazy windows are getting lost and hoping to be found. But all I can do is sit here thinking of you and how I wish you were by my side. Trying to prove that my coffee house blues isn't stronger than my will to make this right. Apologies like piping tea, just bitter leaves, and memories white pico green, they all burn just the same. I'm choking on dried biscotti, the butter tarts are way too sweet, cakes and pies too rich to hide my shame. And all I can do is sit here waiting for you, and how I wish you were by my side. Trying to prove that my coffee house blues isn't stronger than my will to make this right. It's 8 o'clock and the doors are locked. The cash is counted and the fridge is stocked. But still I wait here for you. But still I wait here for you. I'm sitting in the dark, waiting for a spark. I'm starting to believe that we're better off apart. We are.
Love it. How often do you think you've played that song?
At least 20 times.
20 times?
Maybe more than that. Yeah, 20 between 20 and 30.
How often, how many times do you have to play a song till you get to a level of, I'll call it perfection, that you're comfortable performing it in front of an audience?
For an original song, probably a solid 8 to 10 times, which is not that many when you really think about it. The reason being is because when I play that song, that one specifically I wrote kind of in one shot, sitting there at Christopher's. But when I write a song, mostly it's written in stages, so it ends up being like a verse, and then okay, I need to work on a chorus. But to work on a chorus, I need to get into the chorus, and to get into the chorus, I have to play the verse. So I play the heck out of that verse before I'm even done the song. So by the time I'm playing the whole song, it's just to learn how to play the whole thing through. The parts are already there. So an original song will actually take me less time to rehearse versus a song that I learn, because it's not copying somebody. It's essentially just replaying the thing that I've drilled into my head for hours at a time. So sometimes it'll take me quite a while or quite a few sessions to sit down and write a song, and so I'll end up playing the song like 20, 25, 30, 50 times sometimes before I'm even done writing it. So
Seems like a lot of work. Like, it's a lot. I feel it's a lot more work to be a musician than it is to be a comedian. I don't tell a joke eight times, right? I just go out and tell it, and if it bombs, whatever, I just blame it on the audience. Like, they weren't here to laugh tonight. It's their fault. It's always someone else's fault, right? So I guess it's a different mindset when you're a musician. One thing I have to remind you about this, because I really need you to help me out tonight. We talked about it before. I mentioned, like, when we're sitting here, you're in a nice professional pose right there. Like, you look polished. But the fact is, like, beforehand, I want to have that look too, but then I start doing the slouch, right? And I don't want to go off camera here, but you know where I'm going, right? You were supposed to warn me, and I caught myself slouching already, and you didn't give me that nod. And then they tell me to tilt my hat. I get a lot of directions come in here in the last minute. So you got to work with me here, Eric, okay? I know you got a lot in your plate trying to play music and keep everyone entertained, but don't forget about your friend Jamie here. I need a lot of maturing and a lot of help. Anyways, okay, let's get back. We're here to talk about you anyway. So what's next on the agenda?
I'm gonna play a song that reminds me of my mom. A funny little blurb about it was, and I say this sometimes. I've said it a few times to a few different people. I have a line in the song that's home. It feels like growth, like shepherd's pie, mounds of French toast. And I struggled with that line because it was the first time I wrote a line that I thought sounded cheesy, because when I used to write music, I used to try to be overly poetic and metaphorical, and I couldn't let it be relatable. It had to be cryptic, and everybody had to try to figure out what I was talking about. But this time around, I wrote that line, and I finished the song, and I went back and said, no, you know what? I'm not talking about French toast and shepherd's pie in this song. And every single time I sang it, I was like, no, this is right. That's what home feels like to me, and I need to keep this in the song. So, I dedicate this one to my mom, and it's the second song that I wrote after starting to write music again, because I just scrapped all the other stuff that I ever wrote before. So this is home. Home, it feels like growth, like shepherd's pie, mounds of French toast, where dwell the sages that taught us what we know, what it's like of love and life to have a home. It's not a place that you can see with eyes alone. It's what allows us to make it on our own. If you're down, just turn around and find your home. Just find your Woo! Family, friends, who newly old, just remember what you're told. Home is where the heart is, the best part is love. Floating like a dove on a summer breeze, an elegant breeze puts me at ease. Now I know what's best for me. I've gotta find my I found my There will always be those who will try to drag you down below. But you have to see that they're simply searching for a home of their own. They're searching for a home, a home. Help them find their home. Help them find their home. Help them find their.
With that pretty awesome ending there, does that bring the energy out of you when you know you got that? I don't know what's the term, like big. It's not the hook, right? But what do you call the ending of a song when you really like give it at the end? Is there a term for that, or that's just in my head?
I don't know. I don't think there's a name for it,
Yeah.
but it was the chorus again. I just built it, but yeah,
Right.
no, it's
But it's like the big finish, and I could see fireworks
build
going
up
off,
and
and like the big encore. Yeah.
yeah, well, that's really nice. I would love to have fireworks going off behind me. I mean, I don't know if you can make that happen at some
Yeah.
point. I don't know. You seem to be able to make things happen. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
You don't know a lot of talented people then. You're like, if I'm the guy. No, I'm gonna get you fireworks. Okay, trust me. I'm the guy that can make it happen. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the Acoustic Sessions live on TuneHub. This is Eric Starling. I can tell you how dedicated and focused Eric is. Now you can't see it, but down here beside my foot it's my left foot is Eric's wallet. I grabbed the $50 bill out of there and put it in my pocket. Eric didn't even blink. Like, this guy is extremely focused, and I'll give it back to you at the end of the show. But nonetheless, so have you? Just to get you off that track, not worrying about the 50, I got to ask you a question. Have you always performed solo, or have you ever been in a band?
I actually started playing music in a band. I got an electric guitar before I got an acoustic one, and I've played in a bunch of very, very known underground garage ragtag bands. Yeah, I won't even say the names because they're just so known that that you guys know them already. So yeah, but I do play in a band now that I'm actually very proud of. We haven't played yet, but we're called Sweet Talker. Yeah, I'm super proud of this actual band. Disregard anything about any of the past bands; they were very mediocre at best. Well, minus maybe a couple, but I don't know. My perspective of it's probably flawed as well. Um, yeah, I do play in a band. Yeah.
But let me ask you a question, okay? So I'm thinking, like, if I'm in a band, I'm not in a band. I'd like any room in Sweet Talker? No.
Do you
Okay.
play the
Fair
keys? Do you play keys?
enough. Do I play keys?
Can you learn to play keys?
I can do anything you ask me to.
Oh, all right. Well, then you're in the band. That's really that simple.
I can be like your hype guy, maybe.
Yeah, I guess we
He's
could.
stalling.
Yeah, I don't know. We might not
Okay.
be able to use a hype guy.
I got to get to my question. They don't need a hype guy, and I'm probably not going to be in that band. But if I'm in a band, here would be my biggest concern. Where am I going to rehearse? Because, like, if I look at my house, I have a garage, right? But it's not insulated, and it's pretty much one storm away from falling apart. And my neighbors are pretty close. So if I'm rehearsing there, that's probably going to be a no-go. If I'm rehearsing in my basement, maybe get away with that for a while. But I assume you're getting together at least once a week. Like, where do you find a space to rehearse, and is it difficult to find these spaces?
As a teen, it was extremely difficult to find a space because first of all, well, our drummer Sebastian's parents didn't hate us as people, but I mean, they definitely hated us playing on the second floor of his very tiny room with his base. Essentially, it was like his bed, his dresser, and then we had like about 2 square feet each to stand with our instruments. And that must have been horribly loud and terrible. But otherwise, we had to rent places. We found we used to play at the old Gold Court building behind a Shoppers in room number 18. And coincidentally, the band that we formed there was called Room 18 because it just worked. But now, luckily, we're old enough and we have somewhat our stuff together. I mean, the bassist of the band has a house. None of the other members have their stuff together, but that's okay. Mostly me, but it's fine. But yeah, we jam in the basement of his house now, and it's all soundproofed and stuff, so we're not really worried about that now. But it's extremely hard to find a rehearsal space, and that can make or break your band for sure.
Good. Yeah, I've always wondered about that dilemma, but no one's ever invited me to rehearsal. But I want to get back to some music. So I'm thinking, once again, it always turns into like Jamie Klomp request hour. I don't know. It's probably just my personality. But I'm thinking, imagine like you're doing a live show, and I know you've done plenty. We were talking about that before the show went on the air. But is there a song you have when you're looking at the crowd and you really want to bring some energy into the crowd? You know, it'd be a bit of a fan favorite. It might get people up and moving or pick up the spirits. Is there one on that list that's your go-to?
For energy, I don't know. I pretty well played the energy songs, if I'm being honest. Might want to go with a different emotion, but
Okay, if you want to give everyone a nice settle down, they're having too much fun, they're too wild, it's time to turn it down. You know, maybe something where, like, I'd like to play in my house to get the kids to settle down, something a little more dramatic, something a little more mellow. Can we flip it that way? Does this work?
actually, you said something that just hit the nail right on the head there. I know exactly what I'm going to play. I haven't played the song forever, and I usually don't perform it solo because I wrote it with my good friend Dave, and there was another guitar part to it. So it's a little bit different to play it solo. But you said to settle the kids down, and this song's actually called Bedtime Stories.
Oh, wow.
And I wrote it because I was thinking of my parents, and oddly enough, I started out thinking about how it's a little bit negative at the beginning. There's some negative stuff, and I wasn't really too positive about it. And by the end of the song, it took a positive spin, and I realized that it was so much more about me and my experience than I had ever intended it to be. So the song kind of became something that I personally associated myself with, but I didn't write it with the intention of that happening. So it's a little bit interesting. The art kind of just took over. So yeah, it's called Bedtime Stories. And I'll dedicate this one to my friend Dave's wife, Nasira, because she came out when me and Dave played this for the first time, and she recorded it, and she really liked this song. So I'll shout out to Sierra, and this is Bedtime Stories. All right. Whew. It's been a while. My mother always told me to never look the sun in the eye. My father always told me, son, don't cry. My brother once warned me, don't hang around the streets at night. My sister always said it'll be alright. Father once told me, shoo the boogeyman away. My father screamed loudly, you're worthless, as he slipped away. My brother, he sang to me the glory stories of yesterday, as my sister, she faded away. The poison needles buried in her veins. I threw my money down a wishing well, hoping they'd wish me well, but instead they cursed me to hell. Oh, I took my last egg in a basket, dropped and cracked it, can't you see? This life you lead just not for me, no. La da 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 da, na 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 na, na 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 na, I woke up in a sweat, but all these thoughts are running through my head, and I know, whoa. These demons, they're picking at my skin. Oh, how I'm burning from within, and that's alright. Threw my money down a wishing well, hoping they'd wish me well. Instead they cursed me to hell. Oh, I put my last egg in a basket, dropped and cracked it, can't you see? This life you lead just not for me, no. Threw my money down a wishing well, hoping they'd wish me well. Instead they cursed me to hell. Oh, I put my last egg in a basket, dropped and cracked it, can't you see? This life you lead just not for me, no. I spent my days out by the family well. I slipped, I tripped, I fell. Still you raised me well. You both. You put your last egg in a basket, not a casket, can't you see? This life you lead's what makes me me. Now I know. Now I know. Now I know. I tuck my son softly, invite the boogeyman to stay. I told him, son, embrace this because he's here to stay.
All right. You are hired to come to my house tonight. Because if my son Aiden doesn't have the Xbox off by 9 o'clock, Eric's coming over and playing that song. And then you guys are in big trouble because Eric's doing the parenting tonight. But that was an absolute beautiful song.
Thank you.
Beautiful. I really, it's my new favorite. You know, it's only might only go up from here, but that's absolutely my new favorite. But you know, we were talking briefly about great places to rehearse, and I know it can be a challenge, but how amazing is the building we're in right now? TuneHub, the former JJ's Ranch in the heart of Schumacher, In Session Studios. Like, how absolutely amazing is this place, and probably even more amazing for you as a performing artist?
Honestly, I really, really enjoyed the first time I came here, and it was the first time I'd stepped into the building, so I can't say much where like JJ is concerned, but it's really, really awesome. I loved it in here. I thought it was really cool. I'm really liking this setup. It's comfortable, it's nice, and it's just yeah, it's really awesome. I love it. I think it's a really good thing.
It really is, and it doesn't matter what field of like entertainment that you're in. To have a professional studios that supports and will assist you in recording, live stream and marketing, so important in any community. In our community, where you need to have a strong base of entertainment in your community. It's part of the reason why people stay in a community, and it's part of it gives people an activity to do. So whether it's live music or comedy or theater or any types of arts that people enjoy, I think it's really important, and it's awesome. We're very privileged to have a place like TuneHub in our community. So we really hope that people will get out there and support them. It's easy to apply through tunehub.ca. I believe it's a humongous green button that you press, and a good opportunity for people to get aboard, because it's a privilege to have it here. And not just because they invite me here every Wednesday. I want them to invite me here every Friday. No, but no, it is an awesome place to have here, and we're very lucky.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so you agree with me? I like this. So far, not bad, eh? Now,
bad.
you have a lot of dedications on your list tonight. Off chance, anything dedicated to Jamie Klomp? No, oh.
No.
We're
Sorry.
falling apart now.
Yeah, we are. I'm tuning and then barely paying attention.
I feel
but-
our friendship souring as you're tuning. Like you were just gonna go ner 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 ner. That's fine. We maybe next time you come on, I'll have a dedication, right? Like bedtime stories or something like something really meaningful, right?
I might, yeah.
Is that a promise?
Well, I think we're probably going to get together and watch The Office and eat popcorn and stuff. So, I mean, we might have to have a dedication next time.
This is amazing. Like might be the greatest night of my life. All right. So what do you think? Some more music?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Let's do it.
Okay. I'm actually going to go with a song that I wrote while I was teaching as well. And it snowed in May a couple years ago. And I was sitting at a desk supervising some students doing tests and stuff, and I just looked out the window, and it was extremely gloomy. And it was right around the time that a lot of the teachers got laid off and found out about the budget cuts and all that stuff. And it was actually the atmosphere was terrible in the school those days. And I was just drinking in all that emotion, and I ended up writing a song about it. And I called it Snow Squalls in May. It's actually available on my Spotify, Apple Music under Eric Starling, The Road Less Traveled, if you want to check it out. I've got some little harmonies in there that you won't hear in this live version, but yeah, it's called Snow Squalls in May, and dedicate this one to my friend Sylvie, who may or may not be in the next room listening and painting some beautiful flowers. So let's play that one. It's called Snow Squalls in May. Today, even the sun's heart aches. Dismay rides down on snowflakes. A cloud of ash paints the world as blueprints of future lives unfurl. Living in a world inside your head, soaked by acid rains of fear. But no one who is wise has ever said that the grass was greener here. The one thing that life has taught me is that I'll always find my way, as long as I'm prepared to face snow squalls in May. Today, the gloom is hopeful, with hues of purple, gray, and blue. A new horizon before the coming storm, confidence renewed. The sky cracks and the heavens roar. The winds howl and the rains pour, and in the beautiful chaos, all is reborn into a world no longer forlorn. One thing that life has taught me is that I'll always find my way, as long as I'm prepared to face snow squalls in May. Face snow squalls in May.
Round of applause in the back and a virtual applause for me because I got one hand on the microphone. Another awesome one. Another awesome one. Amazing. A lot of passion and a lot of soul in your music, and I can see that through your expression. So, in something that's going to be a terrible segue, I got a bit of a challenge for you, and I always have a challenge that I throw out unauthorized and unchatted before with the musician. So you were talking about Spotify. Once again, where can we find you on Spotify?
I'm on there as Eric Starling,
Yeah.
and the album name is The Road Less Traveled.
Awesome. So I'm adding you to my Spotify list.
Awesome.
But it's going to be a little bit different because on my Spotify list is 90s rap, okay? Now, I want to try something here. And I haven't asked you before, but you can't say no because we're on live.
Okay.
So you got to at least pretend that you like this. And I think you will. And imagine like you're sitting by a campfire and someone comes up to you, can you play some sort of a rap beat on your guitar? It might be impossible. I don't know. But is there anything funky, rappy that you could play on an acoustic guitar?
I could certainly try.
Okay,
could
so
certainly try.
give me and then I'm going to sing the words, the part of the words I know from my favorite rap song in the 90s. It's called Jump by Criss Cross. Do you know them?
Yeah,
No, you're way
no,
younger
not
than me.
really. I mean,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I know
Wait,
the song.
does this remind you? No?
No, not quite.
Okay.
No.
Anyways,
Oh,
my singing's not going to remind you either. Okay.
I don't know what kind of rhythm I got to go with here. but-
Something funky that people can dance to. Come on, man. You're the musician. Look at my hands. See, go to this beat. Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh. Okay. Don't try to compare us to another bad little fad. I'm the Mac and I'm bad. Give you something that you might jump, wiggle, and shake your hump. Jamie Klomp will give you something to make you jump, 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 jump. Oh yeah, Starling will make you jump, 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 jump. I'm the make it man, baby. I'm the make it man, baby. I'm the make it man, baby. I make you wanna jump, jump. Jamie Klomp will make you jump, jump. Eric Starling make you jump, jump. We didn't do too bad in the 90s rap. I got the backwards hat and Eric Starling's all that. I just made that up. That's the end of my song. Starling did pretty good. Jamie Klomp did pretty good. No, it was pretty bad. That was good, man. See, you came up like that.
Whew.
How do I look with my hat twisted like this? Do I look like I fit into your generation or? Boy.
I'm gonna
No.
go ahead and say something. You look a proper Timmins boy.
I don't know where he's going with that, but nonetheless, I'm going to flip it back a little. As professional as you can look with the baseball hat on, I'm going to flip it back that way. But thank you, actually. That was actually a really good beat. I did forget half the words, even though I memorized them on the ride here. But nonetheless, that's what you call live TV. There's no fixing that disaster now. But like I said, I'm a comedian. I don't really rehearse. I just go off the cuff. And that's where your stuff looks professional because
It wasn't bad.
All right, there we go.
I was actually pretty impressed.
Yeah, I like it. I'm liking you already, my friend. You got The Office. That's a check mark. You like my music. That's a check mark, but no dedications to me. So we're still around here. But nonetheless, I know you got lots of originals here today.
Yeah, the next song's actually really emotional one. So we'll go from jumping up and down to this super sad emotional song. This song is called "Princess of Sorrow," and I wrote it after speaking to a friend about some things that that person was going through at the time, and one of those emotional outpour kind of deals where I couldn't not put it into words, and kind of ends up applying to a lot of the people who I've met in my life, and so it's called "Princess of Sorrow," and I dedicate this one to G. Nope. There you go. Okay, that's much better. Princess of Sorrow, is it cold up in your ivory tower? Will you peek out and show your face out in the open where your heart lays so bare? Princess of Sorrow, have you the strength to face your greatest fear of accepting the love you blindly bestow upon those you hold dear? Princess of Sorrow, how sweet is the taste of your lips, how soft the touch of your fingertips, but still there's a dark veil that lies before your bright eyes like an eclipse. Princess of Tomorrow, will you face the world that puts you down today, or sink into the bed that you believe you've made until you grow cold, you fade and melt away and fall into decay? And it pains me to think of the way that you shrink away when I call your name, as if you aren't worthy of the same love
as the rest of us. You are. Princess of sorrow, do you think it's better living in your thoughts? Or is the web too thick, you're tangled up in knots? So you just keep pretending that you don't need mending, you do. Princess of sorrow, are you swimming fast enough to catch the boat? Is your anchor pulling you further down below? Or you allow the current to drag you down to the bottom? Oh, queen of sorrow, you've a greater heart than anyone I've known. When will you reap the fruit from the seeds that you've sown? Or will you let your crops run dry as you gold? Princess of tomorrow, will you face the world that cuts you down today? Or sink into the grave that you believe you've made? Until you grow cold, you fade and melt away. Don't fade and melt away. And it pains me to think of the way that you shrink away when I call your name, as if you aren't worthy of the same love as the rest of us. And it kills me to see you being good as can be, but when it's offered you turn away, as if you aren't worthy of the same love as the rest of us. You are. You are. Princess of sorrow, feel the warmth of my embrace. Soon the clouds will part, the sun will show its face, and I'll prove to you that you deserve the same love as the rest of us.
Just amazing. Let me ask you a question. When you work on a song that's dedicated to someone or a group of people, do you have a discussion with them first to either generate some ideas, maybe get permission, or is it something that you write and come up with and then present them the song? Because I got to feel like once the song's done and the person who's the subject or the group of people, that really has to be like a real personable or a personal moment when you present them the song.
Yeah. Oddly, the person who I wrote that song about was not the person who I dedicated it to, but the specifically that song, I did not ask the person at all, because it wasn't necessarily personal, I guess. Like there was no. I wrote a song. I wrote the song in a more broad way that kind of encompasses how I felt about a lot of young women who I knew at the time who couldn't see their value. And I definitely, the moment that I presented that song to that person was a very intense one. In fact, I don't know that there was a more intense musical moment personally for a person. I don't know. It was really intense, but definitely very personal. And there is some consultation when it's something that I know I'm going to use that's specific personal experiences. But in this case, no, I didn't ask that person, or I didn't consult with that person because I didn't feel like I was like singling that person out per se. And I've had a lot of people come to me because that song's also available on my Spotify, and I have a lot of people come to me and tell me that they identify with that song. So I think that it was broad enough for me to be able to be comfortable writing it without knowing that I was gonna, step on anybody's toes or anything like that.
That's very good. And on the lighter side of things, here, here's what I'm thinking. If I was a single guy and I was out in the dating pool, and say, for example, I wanted to write a song for someone, and just say I was dating someone by the name of, I don't know, like Amanda, right? And you write a song, I love you, Amanda, we'll stay together forever. And then you break up with Amanda, and then you meet, oh, I don't know, Michelle. Would you just change the words? I love you, Michelle. Is that how it works? Or do you come with the whole new, hypothetically, I know you're not that type of guy, just hypothetically, is that something musicians do? Or you write a whole new song?
Okay, well, that's an awesome question. And it actually reminds me of a lyric of a singer that I really like, Joe Vickers, and one of his lyrics were, "When you live in the north, you're bound to get snow in your shoes, and when you kiss a songwriter, there's going to be a song about you." And it just I felt that lyric because I would never ever go back, change the lyrics to a song. I wouldn't stop playing the song because it's a snapshot in time, and heartbroken or not, you were there, and when you wrote that song, the feelings weren't negative. So I just think that playing that song could actually be positive for you after the fact as well. And I would never go back and write a song or change the name just because, I mean, you could write a new song about Michelle if you want to have a song about Michelle as well, right? I mean, there could be all of the names. You can do the Mambo number 5 in your set list if you want. You can have all the songs. But I mean, I don't think I would ever change it just because, like I said, it's a snapshot in time. Every song is a snapshot in time, and it's just like, it's kind of like the song that I guess I'll play next. I'm not going to jump right into it, but it's a snapshot in time in the sense that I was very sad when I wrote this song, and same thing with some of these other songs, and I don't really identify with the lyrics the same way that I did then. But I identify them with them in a different way now, in the sense that I've grown as a person, and the positive twists that I put on the song at the end apply more to me now than the negative ones, and it kind of is just a good reminder. Like if you were to go back on that song about Amanda, it'd just be a good reminder of like either what you didn't want to go revisit again, or the good things that you had when you were there.
Okay. All right, so we got to the bottom of that. I'll let you go because I know we only have a few minutes left. We definitely want to hear you sing at least one more. So the mic's all yours.
All right, well, this song's called Lost and Found, and dedicate this one to Rochelle and Dallas Parkinson, who were my bowling buddies when I was playing bowling. And when I released these songs, they listened to them, and they're actually the only two people, I believe, who claim that out of the 3 songs that I put out, that this was their favorite song. So this is Lost and Found. I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing here. Let the rain wash down my face. It blends in with my tears. And this train's not slowing, and I'm not shifting gears. And I can't shake this feeling, and it's been 7 years. And this fear of dying alone has been eating up my soul. Still I don't believe all of the compliments I'm told. I know that I am good, but still something shoots me down. And I spend my days picking the pieces off the ground. I'm searching for courage I know I can't find amongst the puzzle pieces I have left behind. Digging I dig, am I wasting my time? I don't believe in fate, no, I don't believe in God. I should believe in myself, but most of that's just a facade. And I'd be lying if I said all my confidence is dead. But sometimes when I wake up, it's still lying in my bed. And I've
gotta learn how to stop living in my head. I'm searching for courage I know I can't find. Amongst the puzzle pieces I have left behind. I dig and I dig. Am I wasting my time? I'm writing this letter to myself to let go of all the hurt. These aren't the things you'll remember when you were gone. And build upon a stable base. The foundation of love and kindness is in place. I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing here. Let the sun shine on my face. It dries up all my tears.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very extremely talented Eric Starling. Deep meaning and passion in your music. I can tell how much every single song means to you. It's been a real pleasure to get to know you tonight. Absolutely tremendous. Pleasure to be in the TuneHub building, a place that really supports and brings out the arts and entertainment in our community, something we need. Now, before we go, I got another quick question for you.
Sure.
Now, you mentioned bowling, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to review something here. I cannot be in your band, which is fine. No songs dedicated to me, even though you know I was the host. But is this 5-pin bowling?
It is.
What's your average?
When COVID shut it all down,
Yeah.
I don't know, 208, 210.
I'm at 215, so I could be part of your bowling team.
That's solid.
218. Oh, all the numbers are going. You hear this? All the numbers are going up here. Okay,
Looks
so
like I may have a whole new bowling
so
team
the pin pals here. That's pretty good, eh?
That's
All
not
right. Well, we'll settle that for another day. I know we're out of time tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. It was a real pleasure. You're a tremendous talent. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Acoustic Sessions on TuneHub, brought to you by the Schumacher Arts, Culture, and Heritage Association. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week, next Wednesday. Everyone have a safe evening. Good night.